part of the lesson. So we come to know the overall story about the lesson. Panchatantra and Hitopdesha are famous folk tales. Wow, in Sanskrit. Panchatantra and Hitopdesha are the famous folk tale stories in Sanskrit literature. In it, animals are the characters through which preaching of wisdom has been imparted in very simple and natural way. Here they want to say that animals are the character in both the books, Panchatantra and Hitopdesha, and through animal characters they want to preach, they want to give message to the human beings in a simple and natural way. Right from the children to old age, everyone loves to listen to story. As you know that whether there is a small kid or a young one or an old person, everyone likes to listen to the story. And as one enjoys reading it, one finds easy to understand the moral and inbuilt in the story. As you know that everyone likes to listen the stories, we are listening stories, but apart from listening, we are also getting moral from that story which is inbuilt in the story. The lesson presented here is prepared on the basis of both the book Panchatantra and Hitopdesha. The present lesson by the name YADBHAVISHYA VINASHYATI is based on two books Panchatantra and Hitopdesha. Pandit Vishnu Sarma is the author who has composed Panchatantra. Pandit Vishnu Sarma is the author who has composed Panchatantra in 5 sections. Mitra Vedam, Mitra Samprapti, Kakolukiyam, Labdha Pranasham and Aparikshit Karkam. Here, before going through the lesson, they are telling us about the books from which the lesson is based on. The very first book is Panchatantra and the author of Panchatantra is Pandit Vishnu Sarma. Now Pandit Vishnu Sarma has written this book in 5 sections. There are 5 sections in this book. Mitra Bhedam, Mitra Samprapti, Kakolukiyam, Labdha Pranasham and Aparikshit Karkam. This story is taken from first section Mitra Bhedam, discord between friends. So this story is in Panchatantra, very first part, Mitra Bhedam. And further this says that the writer of Hitopdesha is Narayan Pandit. And another book by the name Hitopdesha, and the writer of this story is Narayan Pandit. There are 4 sections in Hitopdesha: Mitralabh, Suhadved, Vigrah and Sandhi. The present story is found in the 4th section, Sandhi. See students, this story is based on 2 books. One is Panchatantra, another one is Hitopdesha. The author of Panchatantra is Pandit Vishnu Sarma and the author of Hitopdesha is Narayan Pandit. Now, this story is, we can find the story in the first section of Panchatantra and last section of Hitopdesha. Here is a story of 3 fish, Anagatvidata, Pratyunmati and YADBHAVISHYA. And when Pratyunmati, Anagatvidata runs away to another lake to protect itself from the fishermen. When Pratyunmati is caught in the net, it protects itself by finding the way using its swift intellect. Third fish, YADBHAVISHYA, thinking come what may, sits idly and ruins itself. The names given to all the 3 fish suggest their nature. So, in introduction part, they want to say about story. They says that there are 3 male fishes, Anagatvidata, Pratyunmati and YADBHAVISHYA. And these 3 fishes, what they are thinking, they are what they represent. It is what is their nature. We can come to know about from their name itself. And their names are suggesting their nature. A man should think about the remedy, cure for the forthcoming difficulties in advance, and he should intellectually find out the way when he is in trouble. An ideal and inactive person depending just on luck has to suffer like YADBHAVISHYA. So here they want to say us that a man should think about his forthcoming difficulties and should find out the way to come out from that difficulty. And the people, those who are depending just on their luck, they have to ruin, they have to suffer just like YADBHAVISHYA. So dear students, here our introduction part is over. Let me move further for the lesson. Students, before starting to see the lesson, let me see the names of three fishes. These names of three male fishes indicates their nature. They relates their nature. Here, the very first name is Anagat Vidhata. Anagat Vidhata is a name of a male fish, first male fish, right? And it means the one who visualizes future and takes steps to avoid calamity. Now, the second name, Pratyunmati. Pratyunmati, the name of the fish, it means that ready-witted or having presence of mind, bold, or you can say confident also. And the third fish, YADBHAVISHYA. The name of this third fish indicates that YADBHAVISHYA. Bhavishya means future. The one who depends on their future, right? So here these three male fishes are there, and this is the story of three male fishes, right? Let me see the lesson. Now, Pura ekasmin jalasay Anagat Vidhata Pratyunmati YADBHAVISHYASCHETI Trayo Matsyaha Vasanti Sma. Now, with lesson you have to note down the meaning, word meanings also, right? Pura. This word means in the past. Pura, in the past. Ekasmina, in one of the Jalashaya. Jalashaya means pond or a lake. Anagat Vidhata, Pratyunmati and YADBHAVISHYA. This is the name of male fish. This is the name of male fish. The one who visualizes future and takes steps. Visualizes future and takes steps to avoid calamity. Anagat Vidhata means the name of a male fish, one who visualizes future and takes steps to avoid the calamity. See, dear students, in this word there is compound also. Anagat Vidhata. This word is made of like this. Anagatasya Vidhata. Anagatasya Vidhata means here you can see the Sasti Tatpurus compound. Now the second name is Pratyunmati. Pratyunmati. This is also YADBHAVISHYA means the one who depends on their future. The one fish who depends on future. Here in this word you can see sandhi also. YADBHAVISHYA cheti. YADBHAVISHYA plus cha plus iti. Trayo matsyaha. Trayo matsyaha. Means 3 fishes. Trayaha plus matsyaha. Here you can see sandhi. Trayaha plus matsyaha means 3 fishes and vasanti sma. Leave. Here in this particular line they want to say us that once upon a time 3 male fishes by the name Anagavidata, Pratyunmati and YADBHAVISHYA used to live in one of the lake. Students, you may copy down the words. Pura ekasmine jalasaye Anagavidata, Pratyunmati, YADBHAVISHYAश्चेति त्रयोः मत्स्याः वसन्ति स्म. Once upon a time 3 male fishes by the name Anagavidata, Pratyunmati and YADBHAVISHYA used to live in a lake. अतः कदाचित् तं जलाशयं दृष्ट्वा धीवरैः उक्तम् अहो बहु मत्स्योदयं बुधः. अतः कदाचित्. Now once tam jalashayam jalashaya means lake. Tam jalashayam drishtva having seen devaraiha fisherman uktam said bahu matsyo aho bahu matsyodayam bahu matsyo dayam means plenty of fishes. Bahu matsyoodayam udam means pond. So in the beginning we have seen that there are 3 male fishes by the name Anagavidata, Pratyunmati and YADBHAVISHYA who are living in one of the lake. Now in the same lake what happens? See, one day tam jalashayam, one day, now once in that lake 2 fishermen came. In that lake 2 fishermen came and they have seen plenty of fishes in that pond. So once upon a time there 3 male fishes were living by the name Anagavidata, Pratyunmati and YADBHAVISHYA. Then once seeing that lake they said They said, oh, plenty of fishes are there in this lake. Here in this word Bahu Matsyodayam, in this word there is a sandhi Bahu Matsyaha plus Ayam. Bahu Matsyaha plus Ayam. You can see sandhi here in this word. Kadachita apina asmabi anveshitah. Kadachita once apina asmabih, na asmabih means not by us. Anveshitah, anveshitah means discovered. See, there are three male fishes by the name Anagatvidhata, Pratyunmati and YADBHAVISHYA who are living in one of the pond. In the same pond, two fishermen came, and after seeing that lake, they says that, oh, plenty of fishes are here. We have never seen or discovered this type of fishes before. We have never found this type of fishes before. Tadathyah aharvruti sajjata. Tadadya. Here you can see tataha plus adya word is there. Tataha adya. Adya means today. So today aharvruti. Aharvruti means meal. Food, meal or food. Sajjata, sajjata means has arranged. So after seeing that lake, that male fish, two fishermen says that, oh, number of fishes are there. Plenty of fishes we have discovered here. Before this, we have never seen this many fishes in a pond. So, for today, our meal is arranged. For today, our meal is arranged. Swaha atragamyah. Swaha, swaha means tomorrow. Atragamyah. Atra gamya, by coming here. You can see sandhi over here. Atra gamya, atra plus agamya, sandhi, atra gamya. So atra gamya matsya kurmadayo. Matsya kurmadayo means two words are there. Matsya, matsya means fish, and kurmadaya, kurmadaya means tortoise. Fish and tortoise. Matsya kurmadaya. Vyapadayitva. Vyapadayitva means Vyabhadayitva means should be given. And iti means this, and nishchayah. Nishchayah means fixed or decided. So in the last line, the fishermen were doing talk with plenty of fishes are there. So for today our meal is arranged, and tomorrow we will come. And by coming here we will kill all the fishes and tortoise, and this is decided. Students, you may note down these things in your notebook. अथ तेषां तत् कुलेशोपम वचनं समाकर्ण्य मत्स्याः परस्परं प्राहुः श्रुतोऽयं तीव्रालापः. अथ, the word atha here it means now. This word is used in the sense of beginning. Atha, now. Tesham means of, then. Tat kulishopam words which is compared with thunderbolt. Words which is compared with thunderbolt. Tat kulishopam. Vachanam words. Samakarnya means listening. Matsya means fishes. Matsya. This word matsya means fishes. Parasparam, to one another. Prahu means sail. Now you have seen the previous part in which we have seen that there are three male fishes by the name of YADBHAVISHYA, Pratyunmati and YADBHAVISHYA who are living in the lake. And one day two fishermen came in the same lake and they have seen a plenty of fishes in this lake. So they talked with each other that we have never seen or discovered this many fishes in a pond. For today our meal is arranged. Tomorrow we will come and destroy or kill all the fishes and the tortoise. Now by hearing this conversation of these two fishermen, these fishes like Anagatvijata, Pratyunmati and YADBHAVISHYA, they are talking that now these words which is spoken by the fisherman is just like a thunderbolt for them. By listening this word which is just like a thunderbolt for them, they were discussing, conversing with each other that Shrutodiam Tivralapah. Shrutodiam here there is sung in this word Shrutah plus ayam. Shrutodiam. Have you heard Shrutodiam? Shrutodiam Divralapah. Divralapah. Divralapah, there is a compound in this word Divrah plus Divranam Alapah. Sasti Tatpurus compound. Divralapah. The conversation of fishermen. Divralapah. Divranam plus Alap. Sasti Tatpurus compound. Shrutodyam Divralaho. Now, hearing their cruel words, the fishes started speaking to one another that, have you heard those fishermen? Have you heard those fishermen? Aduna, asmabhim kim kartavayam? Aduna means now. Asmabhi. By us. Kim. What? Kartavya. Should do. After hearing the conversation of that fisherman, two fishermen, it is just like a thunderbolt for the fishes. So, after heard this, they were conversing with each other, they were discussing with each other. Now, what should be done?